All right, man. Look at man. I ain't about to say anything good about this, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. So we gonna get real serious for a second, man, because I done had a post that blew up on social media, done went viral on the old TikTok, and I got a whole lot of stitches, whole lot of comments saying that just because, he was a bad person, you could celebrate him and all that, yada, yada, rah, rah, shucking and jiving, coonery from these folk, man. I'm not surprised by the white folk that was saying stuff to me. I was already, right as soon as I saw, here come the liberals, I was like, okay, bro, all right, bro, I'm not even a liberal. I'm literally ash. That's it. I'm literally just ash, man. That's all I am. It's just me. I had folks that I knew from other countries were commenting on my stuff. People were like, "Oh, look at all you left wingers." I'm like, they're not even from America. It's like they're like still left wing. I'm like, all right, man. They can't even vote here. How they gonna be on the left side of the wing, bro? They ain't not even on the plane or the bird. But nah, man. People were really, really mad about what I had to say. And looking, bro, I'm gonna say exactly what I said in that video. The man was racist as hell. Hated black folk. So many videos out there. This man, when he would shake black folks' hand, he would look so disgusted. Videos out there, this man shaking a black person's hand and then washing his hands afterwards. Videos of him not even want to take pictures with black fans. So many videos out there of black fans trying to get videos with him and him just kind of like, not even knowing the videos actually even being taken, would be like, I can't. But then the white fan, he real cool with that. He never liked us at all. He didn't like his daughter's boyfriend being black and all that. Said to her that I don't want you dating no hard R's and all that stuff multiple times. Him and the daughter ain't even have a good relationship. So it's like the bro was already a bad man, bro. He said about his son that got into a car accident and with his friend, and his friend him died in the car accident, that he hopes that the friend is reincarnated to a black family as karma. That is crazy, by the way. That is sick. That is a different level of racism right there, bro. You are like just a unique racist, my guy. So it's like, you ain't my guy, never mind. Nope, you not like us for sure. So it's like, why should I have to respect the man, bro? Clearly he ain't respect black folk at all in the slightest. I'm a black person. I'm the blackest light skin you don't ever met. So it's like, man, he ain't respect us at all. So why should I have to respect him? On top of that, the man also was a committer of the sexual assault, a case that has literally never been closed off. He was said to have sexually assaulted a woman. He tried suing for defamation. Nothing ever came from that case. Literally, the case never closed at all. So there's that as well. Sexually harassed his wife. He committed the domestic violence to his wife and all that stuff. And for folks that are gonna say like, oh, well, you don't treat other folk like this, child, I don't even like Stone Cold because he committed domestic violence, and he also said the hard R multiple times as well. I don't even like Undertaker and Kane because they were both side by side with Trump and rocking with the whole ICE raids and all that stuff. I don't even like Triple H because I simply think that he a bitch. But I just simply don't like him as well. Him and Shawn Michaels did a whole lot of racist stuff to Mark Henry. Mark Henry's been very outspoken about a lot of that stuff in the past. They also had a lot of stuff that they did to Rock as well. The stuff with Rock's grandma, with Shawn Michaels. At least the one person that I will give some kind of leeway to is Shawn Michaels, because he's tried to better himself. Started speaking a lot about Black Lives Matter and all that. So I feel like in Shawn Michaels' case, he definitely was a racist at one point in time, for sure. 1,000% hardcore racist. I think there just also might have been a thing. He was just a super bad person in general. Like there's not one documentary out there that doesn't have Shawn Michaels being like the worst person in the world. So I think Shawn Michaels was a complete, like, just horrible person, like how Hulk Hogan was, but eventually, learned from his ways. And I mean, obviously we don't know exactly how good of a person he is today, but we know that he probably is trying at least. He's speaking up about women, speaking up about black rights and all that stuff. So I can at least give that man some leeway and say, you did shitty things in the past. You were a horrible person in the past, but at least you're actually trying to make up for the things and not just apologizing. I think that's what a lot of people kind of miss when it comes to Hulk Hogan, is that, yeah, sure, bro, apologize, kumbaya, all that stuff. Shout out to you for apologizing, man. But then you didn't live by your apologies. You apologize for one thing, another thing comes out. Oh, well, I'm sorry. You apologize for this, another thing happens. Oh, well, I'm sorry. You apologize for this, another thing happens. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Like, bro, Come on, bro. You can't keep doing it. You can't keep doing things and apologizing for them and act like we're supposed to just forgive you, bro. No, that's not how the world works. Now, because this man was big Christian and all that stuff, a lot of people want to, be rocking with him and all that. The funny thing about him is that apparently he was a Christian when he was a wrestler, and then he wasn't a Christian. Then he became a Christian again after the whole racist allegations came out. Then he wasn't a Christian for a while. Then he got baptized this past year and became a Christian again. So it's like, bruh, clearly the guy used the whole Christian thing when bad things came out. Bad things came out and last year as well. I forgot exactly what it was. It might have been a scamming thing, or it might have been the WCW stuff. Something came out. I forgot exactly what came out though. But he did a lot of bad things and then became a Christian because of said bad things, because he, like many of the other fake Christians in this world, are afraid of hell. They're afraid that when they die, they're going to go to hell, and they don't want to go to hell, so they become a Christian and all that yada, yada, yada stuff and all that. Not really doing it, but whatever. I'm not even going to speak too much on it because I don't really even feel like diving into that. It ain't just that, though. It's not even just the racist stuff. I mean, because like that is like a big thing, but it's not even just the racist stuff. Also rock with Trump. Rocked through all the ICE raids and all that stuff. Rocked through all the homophobia. Rocked through all the transphobia. Okay, so now I, a black, non-binary individual, am hated for two things by this man. And I also love women, and this man does not really speak the most kindly about women. Okay, so now you hate three things that I am very highly associated with. Actually, four things. I'm also Hispanic as well. So now let's go even further than this, though, because it goes further than this. It also goes into the wrestling side of things, because y'all talk about this man as a legend, he saved wrestling, yada yada yada, all this stuff. First of all, y'all just keep highly praising one person from every generation. It's the exact same reason when I have my big old rant about John Cena saving like his era and all stuff. No, he did not. John Cena had plenty of other superstars around his time, some of the biggest ones being, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, just to name a few. The Shield, AJ Lee. You had a lot of talent here as well. Caitlyn, obviously, can even throw her name in there, even though I don't really like her, obviously. Nikki Bella. You have a lot of big names around this time. So it wasn't just him. Well, Hulk Hogan had the exact same thing. Andre the Giant, Sergeant Slaughter, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Paul Bearer, Undertaker, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior. Mind you, a lot of these guys had to be very great heels for Hogan. Now, Hogan is not Hogan without these heels. Just like Cena wasn't Cena without the heels. Once the heels went away from Cena, nobody cared for Cena. People started not liking Cena. When the heels went away from Cody, folks stopped liking Cody. Folks were like, Cody's boring, yada yada. That's because it takes a great heel to make an even better babyface. Hulk Hogan is not the one he is if it's not without them. So by saying that Hulk Hogan saved WWE, WWF was fine before that. It was fine before that. It wasn't like the greatest thing in the world, but it was still, it was still a on the rise company. After him, it was still it was still a very much so popular company. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart was literally a main event 2 years after the man left to WCW. But while he was in WWF, let's talk about his WWF career, because we can talk about the fact that he didn't want to take pins to Shawn Michaels, to Bret Hart. We can talk about how he didn't want to take pins to Ultimate Warrior. We talk about the fact that he literally no-sold after Warrior beat him, got right back up. Didn't even sell the fact that this move was supposed to hurt, because he just couldn't take that, Warrior beat him. We can talk about the fact that this man no-sold. Oh no, not no-sold. My bad. Talk about the fact that this man, when Paul Bearer slid that chair in and Undertaker did the Tombstone Piledriver onto him, his head doesn't even touch the chair. Literally, no. It's like this far, like a good foot from the chair. This man tried getting Undertaker fired by saying that Undertaker hurt him. Undertaker, by the way, in 1987, 86, somewhere around there, whenever that match happened. If that happens, if Undertaker's fired by that point, we probably never have the Undertaker that we probably never have Undertaker. Which means the WrestleMania streak, all the wrestlers that got put over by Undertaker, those wrestlers are affected way, 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 way more. Careers look so much different. So he hurt Undertaker, tried hurting Shawn Michaels, tried hurting Bret Hart, tried hurting Ultimate Warrior, tried hurting Randy Savage. I forgot about Iron Sheik. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik. Tried hurting Iron Sheik. Tried hurting all their careers. Now let's get to the other big thing that he also tried doing. The union. Jesse the Body Ventura wanted to make a union for wrestlers to be protected so that they would no longer be independent workers. They would actually be, fully contracted by WWE, like fully on with whatever company they were on with. He wanted to make a union for wrestlers to protect them. That union did not happen because Hulk Hogan snitched on Jesse Ventura and got the whole entire thing just destroyed. The whole entire thing destroyed. You want to know what that union could have protected? Women's wrestling. In 1983 to 1989, there was a women's WWF belt and a women's WWF tag team belt. The tag team belts, they both went away in 89. They both went away in 89. Then 3 years later, it might have been 4, but I'm pretty sure it was 3, Alundra Blaze got the new and returned WWF Women's Championship. That was around for 3 years. No, that was around for 2 years. Then in let's say it was 92. 92 to 94. 95, that belt leaves again. No, 94, that belt. 95, that's 1 or 2 years, my bad. For 3 years. I think it comes back in 98 because Stacy Kubler's the next one that gets it. By the way, wearing the whole slave shirt and all that with the thong and all that. Yeah, it's crazy. So for 3 years, it's gone. The women's championship is gone again. So the women's championship kept getting, it was there, wasn't there, wasn't there. No women, there's like 4 women there. For the times that it was gone, there was like 4 to 3 women that were actually on the roster. So women wrestlers are getting released. Women wrestlers are getting their belts taken away. So that's already screwed over. Again, that women's tag belt, done in 1989, doesn't come back until 2019. Does not come back until 2019. You know all the wrestlers that got released because of the fact that, like, whatever reason, like they may have spoke out about the company. They may have had issues in the company. They may have had injury concerns and all that stuff. And then you find out years later that they weren't even paid properly. You know how ECW, how Paul Heyman wasn't paying a lot of his wrestlers? Yeah, none of this would happen with a union. Because the union wasn't just a WWF union. It was a wrestlers union in totality. So all wrestlers would be protected. This didn't happen because of Hulk Hogan. This did not happen because of Hulk Hogan. So now when you have wrestlers in ECW, again, that aren't being paid, that's the reason why. Who are going through these crazy, insane matches and aren't being paid what they should be paid or aren't being paid at all. That's the reason why. So you have that. When the women wrestlers are getting screwed over, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. When it took how many years to get a women's main event until 2016? That's the reason why. Women's pay-per-view main event. When it took how many years to get a women's mid-card? Yeah, that's the reason why. When it took how many years to get the women's tag belts back? Yeah, that's the reason why. When it took, women are still dealing with this issue today of not having main events. Every night 1, night 2 main event for WWE right now, it should be 1 woman, 1 man. Every, that's just how it should be. SummerSlam, WrestleMania, they're not having that. SummerSlam's already been confirmed. CM Punk, Gunther, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Naomi, Rhea, Io's right there. More popular than CM Punk and Gunther. I can tell you for sure more popular than Gunther. All 3 of them are. So, yeah, but that's just not happening. Rhea, Io, Bianca couldn't even main event WrestleMania. I don't want to hear the stupid thing about 9-1 main event was so great. Cool. Cool. How about you give the triple threat more time? Those women's matches at the WrestleMania, both women's championship matches, I read all the times off to y'all. They were less than every single championship match at WrestleMania that was a male championship match other than the Raw Tag Team Championships. Every other match. US, IC, women, the men's world championship, the men's world heavyweight championship, the men's WWE championship. All were more than that match. That is sad. That is sad. Remember when CM Punk had to leave WWE because of all of his injuries and Vince McMahon was not giving a fuck about those injuries at all in the slightest and was treating him absolutely horrible? Yeah, that would have never happened had there been a union. That would never happen had there been a union. Remember when Daniel Bryan was constantly having injuries and all that stuff, and now he's talked about how he's had all these injuries and all that, and he wanted to have his family there, but he couldn't have his family there and all this stuff and yada yada, so his WrestleMania moment wasn't as big. Yeah, a lot of this doesn't happen if there's a union. A lot of this doesn't happen if there's a union. Remember Triple H's reign of terror that was putting down so many other people? Yeah, some of these things just don't happen. Some of these things just don't happen. Like he wouldn't be able to use his power to be able to get to the top because there's a union. Shawn Michaels and Triple H would not be able to keep The Rock down because there's a union. Black wrestlers would not be kept down because there's a union. Hispanic wrestlers would not be kept down because there's a union. Any other POC wrestlers, native, Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, Thai, Korean, whatever, yada, 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 would not be kept down because there's a union. Because there's a union. Women would not be doing brawl and panty matches because there's a union. There's a union. Edge and Matt Hardy's feud, which in my opinion did not need to happen, wouldn't have happened because there's a union. This was a very real life situation that should not have happened. Dominic Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero might not happen either, and that's just kind of up to you on how you feel about that. But that might have happened. Who knows? But a lot of things just don't happen. Remember when Vince McMahon was fighting God? That probably doesn't happen. that probably doesn't happen. Remember when there was a lot of grapey things kind of happening on like stages and all that? Yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Like, so much stuff does not happen if there's a union. So many good things happen for wrestlers if there is a union. Actual benefits, actual rights, being protected from the, from the companies and all that stuff. Discrimination, equality is better, harassment, sexual harassment, like how Elena Black, formerly known as Cora Jade, was speaking about. Yeah, a lot of these things don't happen. A lot of them don't. If it's not for Hulk Hogan not effing up the union possibility. So what did he actually do for wrestling? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's actually talk more about that. Let's get into more about that, because WCW. Now, not only did the man have creative control, things have resurfaced. The man was supposed to earn 25% of every Nitro and Thunder show. 25%. So let's say they made 100K that day. 25,000 goes to Hulk Hogan. Let's say they made $1 million that day. 250,000 goes to Hulk Hogan. If he did not make his 25%, at least 25K, he needed to be paid that before the next show. Okay. Destroyed WCW, by the way. Just completely destroyed it. TNA, he tried everything in his power to destroy it. I still believe to this day that him and Vince McMahon were in cahoots about destroying TNA. That's just my personal belief. So as we can see here, the man didn't really do a lot of good for wrestling. He did a lot of good for Hulk Hogan. A lot of y'all want to give all this high praise to the things that he did for WWF and all that, while discrediting all the other wrestlers that were there. While discrediting the fact that he literally took superstar Billy Graham's whole entire gimmick. While discrediting the fact that Dusty Rhodes was right there, a real American hero, a real hero in general. Mind you, he took a gimmick as well, but at least he was actually a good human being. Again, still not right taking somebody's gimmick, but at least he was a good human being, so that's fine. At that point, it's just a who the heck gets over at that point. I'm not even going to dive too deeply into that. But at least, he was a good human being. Although I couldn't dive deeply into that, but that's for another day. So he was there. And so was superstar Billy Graham. Both of these guys could have done at least really good things. Do they make it as popular? Who the heck knows? Who knows? Who knows? Because we don't have that timeline available to us. But this belief that we have to feel bad for Hulk Hogan, that he passed away when he did all these bad things, I don't. If you're a bad person and you go, nobody has to celebrate you. Nobody does at all. And people that are thinking that, like, oh, it's because his political beliefs that he's not liked. Undertaker gets cheered, and the man was literally side by side with Trump, and nobody likes Trump. So don't you think the exact same thing would happen to him? Don't you? Chris Jericho constantly gets cheered. He's a Trump supporter. So yeah, not really the greatest argument there. Kane gets cheered, and he's literally a Trump supporter. That's, again, not the greatest argument there. Roman Reigns gets acknowledged every single dang week, and he's literally a Trump supporter. Not the greatest argument there. It's not because of his political views. It's because he's a shit person. It's because he's a shitty, horrible person. He is a scum of the earth type person. He does not have to be celebrated. If you want to celebrate him, that's completely up to you. I truly don't care. I'm not going to tell anybody what they have to do. I'm always going to give out the facts, though. And these are all the facts about this man. He was a horrible, scum of the earth person that was horrible to his family, horrible to people. He was just a horrible human being who did so many bad things. And because he was Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania gonna run wild through you, brother, and all that stuff. We're supposed to just celebrate the guy. I'm gonna be real. I don't care what you do for a sport. I don't really care what you do for a sport. I don't care what you do for, one thing that I may like. If you're a shitty person, I just don't like you in general. It's easy for me to just not even care about you. Same way I feel about the 2004 Royal Rumble winner. I'm never even going to say this man's name because he's just a shit human being as well. I'm not going to say one good thing about him either. I'm not going to say he was a great wrestler. No, I think he's a shitty wrestler. You can't tell me to say otherwise. If my opinion isn't as valid to you anymore, I don't care. If I think that Hulk Hogan is like the worst thing, like the worst just wrestler of all time, and you say, well, you're just disregarding, I don't care. If you don't take my opinion as valid, fine. I don't care. I'm not separating the art from the artist. I'm not here to, whether it comes to the podcast or whether it comes to my content in general, I'm not here to get validation from people. I'm not here to speak these words and hope that everybody rocks with me. No, that's not me. That's not me. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm literally just I'm literally just a content creator who speaks my mind, who speaks about things that I want to speak about. And if you don't like them, that's fine. If for instance, I think that JC Jane is an absolutely awesome wrestler. I think she's one of the best champions we have right now in wrestling. If you don't like that, that's cool. I don't really care. I think Mercedes Moné is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. If you don't think that, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not trying to seek validation from anybody. And I don't think that I should have to try to seek validation from anybody. That's not the kind of person that I ever want to be. I seek validation from myself, and that's it. As long as I know that I said what I said and I believed in what I said, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. I don't come on here to try to, hope that y'all are going to love what I hope that y'all love the content. But I mean, if you don't like what I had to say, if you don't like what I had to say about Hulk Hogan right now, that I didn't celebrate his career and all that, I don't care. That's up for you. That's up for you. For me, I'm just gonna say what I say, say what I have in my notes, and that's that. Hulk Hogan, shitty human being. I'm not, happy. I'm happy that he's not here anymore. He was a bad human being. He hurt many upon many people. The biggest one being his daughter. He broke his daughter's heart by speaking that horrible way. And for me as a person, I feel like if you harm your child, you're just the scum of the earth. You're the scum of the earth, and nobody should ever forgive you for harming your child. He may not have sexually assaulted her. He may not have beat her, but he broke her trust. He hurt her in a way that she'll probably never forget. That she will never forget. By telling her, I don't want you dating a hard R. You don't need to be around them. They're bad people. You're going to tell your daughter that. Look if my daughter, I would always tell, if I like a kid and I didn't want them dating, a bad person, or even if I didn't want them, say, for instance, I'm just gonna throw a race out there. I don't really care how you feel about this. If I didn't want them dating a white person, end up dating a white person, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't want you dating some cracker or something like that. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's crazy. If I don't approve of who she's dating, that's just for me to keep inside of my head. That's not for me to go tell anybody. It's not for me to tell my girl. It's not for me to tell my daughter. Nothing like that. That is for me to just keep inside of my head and try to be as best of a human being as I possibly can be to this person. That's my job. And that was his job. He had one job, and he couldn't even do that for his daughter. So anybody trying to defend this man by saying he became a Christian or trying to say he's a legend and all that stuff, you should really look at this man in totality. I know for a lot of Christians, your thing is we can't judge and all that. When does it get to a point where you can? Is the racism not enough? Is the sexual assault not enough? When is the point that you can't? Mind you, this guy lied his entire career as well, so I didn't even know if he was a Christian. But yeah, no, I think he was a shit human being, and I'm not about to celebrate this man at all. So came to the wrong place. We're looking for a celebration. And fuck Hulk Hogan.